So DDG has filed for custody for baby Halo, and he has revealed the dynamics of their relationship. And I would say it doesn't look good for him.
Y'all, this drama between DDG and Halle Bailey is getting even messier, so you guys know Halle Bailey filed a restraining order against DDG. She also wanted sole custody, which the judge granted, of their son Halo. So it seems like DDG has filed an emergency motion to stop Halle Bailey from taking their son out of the country, because you guys know she was trying to take him to Italy because she is filming in Italy for 2 months and she wanted to take their son with her. Not only that, DDG also wants sole custody of Halo, and he also claims that Halle Bailey isn't mentally healthy enough to take care of their 1-year-old, and he also alleges that Halle tried to get rid of baby Halo while she was pregnant behind his back. DDG is also alleging that Halle left his house with a gun and she didn't tell anybody where she was going. He also said he found her outside just holding it, and he also said that she was pregnant when this incident happened. Guys, the situation between DDG and Halle just gets even messier, because 2 months after Halo was born, DDG alleges that Halle sent him some alarming text messages saying that she was threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that she was also going to harm Halo at the time. Now, if you guys remember when the whole situation with Halle Bailey filing a restraining order against DDG, she said that DDG slammed her head into a steering wheel. Now, of course, DDG tells a different story of what happened. He claimed that he went to go pick up Halo for his time to spend time with him, but Halle jumped into the back of his seat when he did, demanding that he came up with, a co-parenting schedule. So DDG also alleges that while Halle was in the back seat, she was getting agitated and she started jumping from the back seat to hit him, and when she did that, she went too far to try to hit him, and that's when she ended up hitting her head against the steering wheel. And DDG also submitted pictures where he had cuts on his hands from the situation. So like I said, this situation then just got even messier. Not only that, DDG did submit the text messages, so let's go ahead and get into these text messages. So in these text messages right here, Halle said, "This is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to unalive myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom." DDG responded and said, "I can't believe you're acting like this." And Halle responded and said, "You put your penis inside of her in Mexico." Halle continues and says, "Answer the effing phone. Answer the effing phone. I'm going to try one more time. If you don't answer, it's over forever. I'm not playing, Daryl. That's it." DDG responded and said, "I just want to be left alone, please." Halle responded and said, "I'm calling for help. I have a you know what." Halle continues and says, "I'm calling for help, but why don't you care, do you? Okay." He says, "Have a you know what for what?" Halle also says, "I just thought we'd do what I wanted to do today since it's Mother's Day, but if you really want to go, you can. I'll just go home and pack. Hello." And this was last year. Daryl then says, "If you don't want to come back, I'm going to call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You have my son. I know you took my you know what." He then says that you know what has no safety. He then says, "That's not something to play with." And Halle says, "You have ruined me and all my happiness. You hang up when I'm begging for help. You're the only help I used to have. And you're so focused on being famous and having money when you don't even see what is in front of you. How could you go to Mexico and be with someone else? How could you openly talk ish about me to all your family and all the women you want to sleep with? You want to ruin me." From this
This is so not okay. If the mother of your child is calling out for help and you ignore the calls and texts, is diabolical. Mental health is too damn real and should never be ignored. Here's what people had to say.
Y'all, the legal battle between these two has just escalated and things are not looking good for Halle. DDG has just filed a motion with the court asking for an emergency hearing and practically begging the court to not let Halle take Halo out of the country this Saturday. He claims that she's mentally unstable, that she has threatened to unalive herself multiple times, and that she's been physically abusive to him. Now, if y'all remember last month, I talked to y'all about how she was able to get a temporary restraining order against DDG, and she was able to get temporary full custody of baby Halo and permission from the court to allow her to take Halo out of the country to Italy for the next next 2 months so that she could film a movie. In her filing, Halle said that DDG had physically assaulted her multiple times. She showed photos of bruises. She showed a photo of her chipped tooth when she says he pushed her into the steering wheel of his car. But now DDG is saying that that's not really how that went down. In this article from TMZ, you can see it says 2 months after Halo was born, DDG claims Halle sent him a series of alarming texts threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that their infant son Halo might also be harmed. These are some of the messages that he included with his filing, and to be fair, Halle's crashing the fuck out in all of these messages. However, given the context of these messages, you can tell that she's not just crashing out for no reason, like she just found out that he was unfaithful to her while he was on vacation. I'll zoom in on some of these messages for y'all, but you can see she says, I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I hope that that's a different Lala and we're not talking about Lala Anthony, because that. But she says, I'm going to unalive myself tonight. She says, my son will not be around for it. He says, I can't believe you're acting like this. And she says, you put your inside of her in Mexico. DDG seems to respond to her, I just want to be left alone, please. To which she says, I'm calling for help. I have a knife. DDG claims in his court filing that another time he had to go look for Halle after she took his pew-pew and just left the house. You can see here, these messages are from earlier in the day, and later that night he says, if you don't come back here, I'm gonna call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. He says, I know you have my pew-pew, and then he says that pew-pew has no safety. About the chipped tooth incident, he alleges that he came to pick Halo up and Halle jumped into his backseat demanding that they come up with like a formal co-parenting schedule, and that after that she became increasingly agitated, started jumping from the backseat to hit him, and momentum carried her forward and she smacked her head on the steering wheel. I don't know how much I believe that. Seems like a great way for lawyers to like rephrase what actually happened. But basically, not only is he asking the court to prevent her from leaving the country this Saturday with Halo, he's also saying that Halle has been the one to repeatedly like punch and slap him, to stalk him by hiding AirTags in his cars, and that she has threatened to unalive herself during jealous outbursts, and therefore he's asking the court for his own restraining order against her. He's also asking for full custody of the baby. Y'all, absolutely insane, and it looks like this legal battle for them is just getting started.
Right here is not trying to fight for your child. No, this right here is a narcissist trying to gain as much control over a situation as he can and trying to save face as well. Because if all this is the truth, then why you didn't do this a month ago when y'all had court for the restraining order? Why wait to the day that the temporary restraining order expires for you to do this? Especially considering the fact that the judge granted for Halo to go with Halle to Italy for the 2 months that she's filming a movie. She's not going for vacation, she's going for work. That same judge that granted the TRO is the same judge that allowed for Halle to take Halo to Italy. But now you want to act, oh, I didn't know that she was going to go to Italy. Let me stop it right now. My thing is, if she was such an imminent emotional risk and you showing all these screenshots from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even like screenshots from 2022, you're really pulling at strings, DDG. Like, if you really felt like this, especially considering the fact that a lot of the screenshots he showed was while she was pregnant, why you didn't file for full custody as soon as she gave birth? Why you haven't filed for full custody prior to her filing for full custody and then being granted full custody? Like, come on now. And with these screenshots that he's showing, if anything, it proves Halle's case to me more so than DDG's, because in the screenshot you can see where she's like, you cheated on me with Lala in Miami, and then she's talking about unaliving herself and whatnot. And my thing is, she was pregnant. You was really cheating on your girl while she was pregnant, and she was crashing out because she found out, and I want to use that against her. And then people talking about she crazy because she put the air tag in the baby's bag. I guess I'm crazy then, because I would do the same damn thing. There's nothing wrong with a parent wanting to know where their kid is 24/7 when they're with a toxic co-parent that they have no choice but to have the kid around. And then people saying, well, oh, she had the air tags on him even while they was together, she was stalking him. People that get cheated on do stuff like that. Pregnant hormonal women that are dealing with emotional abuse, because cheating on someone that's pregnant with your child is emotional abuse. I don't give a damn. They do stuff like that. And then obviously DDG does not care, because he was trying to argue with her this year. Mind you, they're not even together, haven't been together in months, on Mother's Day of all days, about an article that had to do with Brett Fayez. Like, obviously you're still concerned about her romantically, that you're arguing with her about dudes that she may or may not be dealing with, but yeah, you over here trying to show, oh, she's crazy, she was talking to me. Obviously you don't care that much. And the switch up I've seen in regards to people now being, oh, I'm team DDG now, Halle's the problem, see the screenshots, da 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 da. First of all, it shouldn't be no team Halle or team DDG. It needs to be team Halo, and I don't think DDG's even team Halo. If DDG was team Halo, he would realize that doing this right here is going to hinder his son from having a relationship with him. I feel so bad for Halo, because his dad is not doing anything in the best interest of Halo. Like, if he really wanted to see his son, if he really wanted custody, maybe he should have shown up to the supervised visits that he could have had in the month interim since the temporary restraining order has been granted. Nothing DDG has done has been in the betterment of Halo. It's been to spite Halle, and that's exactly why he filed for sole custody days before she was supposed to go to Italy, knowing that he's not gonna get it. But this was really about seeing his son in the best interest and safety of his child. All that time that he spent on stream telling people that, oh, Halle's not letting me see my son, da 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 da, and he even tell the full story about how he ripped off the Ring camera, threw it, how he threw her phone, broke into her house, took a picture of her bed, all that. Instead of being on stream telling strangers that, he would have been at the courthouse telling the judge that, doing exactly what he's doing now. It's giving all this is fake and for optics, which is a shame because there's a kid involved. I don't know if Daryl gonna see this video or if someone affiliated with him will see this video, but hopefully he gets this message. Because listen, Daryl, I pray that you prove me wrong and that you really are doing this in the best interest of your child, but it's not giving that, because the screenshots that you're showing are from forever ago. The receipts that Halle showed are from this year. They're recent. Like, you had to pull out screenshots from 2022 to try to make Halle look crazy when all she had to do was pull out screenshots from Mother's Day of this year that made you look crazy. Like, they're not the same. Like, we saw the picture when you broke into her house and took a picture of her bed. She has the ring footage of you acting a fool at her house. Like, you're not innocent in this. Being someone that has sole legal custody of their child, I know that there's 3 stories to every co-parenting situation: the mama story, the daddy story, and then the truth. So obviously only the people that were involved in this know everything that went down, i.e. Halle and DDG. But from what we've seen, and by we I mean the public, you're not looking good in these streets, DDG. And I'm sure you don't want to be considered a bitter baby dad, but you trying to stop your baby mama's money flow days before she goes out to Italy with your child honestly gives that you're a bitter baby dad. And once again, now we know for a fact that you cheated on her while she was pregnant. Like, you couldn't even treat her right while she had your baby in her belly. And I say all that to say that yes, you have the right to fight her back in court, but the way you're going about it is not it. Your child is going to grow up one day and see the facts of the situation, and he's going to resent you, DDG, because all you're doing is terrorizing his mother. That's all you're doing while she's the one taking care of him. When you become a parent, you have to realize that your personal feelings don't matter. It's about the feelings of the child. That's what matters. And DDG, you haven't realized that yet. Daryl, you're gonna have to get it together real soon if you expect to have any type of relationship with your son, because I promise you, once that boy realizes what you're doing to his mama, he ain't gonna like your ass. More than he already don't like your ass now. We see how he be minking you. He probably doing that because he sees you do it to his mother.
Quick message to DDG and his stance. You have every right to file an emergency court order to see your son. Every right. However, putting out text messages thinking you're winning this battle, I'm going to win the internet battle by saying that she wanted to get an abortion, means nothing. An abortion is a choice. Either you do it or you don't. She didn't. She's a mom now. So those text messages are null and void. The other messages about how she wanted to kill herself, well, I mean, considering she's dating you and decided to go ahead and have your baby and now she's stuck with it, I'd be suicidal too. Bravo to you for using the legal system to fight back instead of your hands. However, nothing you put out today negates the fact that she says you hit her and that she has video proof that you stalked her and was in her home when she wasn't there. So good job on you, but you're still doo-doo garbage.
Oh my god, Sana, did you see what DDG posted? The screenshots? I mean, the screenshots of him refusing to help parent his child? I mean, the evidence of him cheating on the mother of his child when she was freshly postpartum with postpartum depression? Like, every piece of evidence that DDG tries to pull out just makes him look guilty as all hell! But I digress. Y'all have fun with that.
DDG released text messages today from Halle that proved everything that we've been saying. You are a know-nothing ass dude and you were never worthy of her. That you never were the nice guy that you put yourself out to be, because clearly she been crying and screaming and pleading to be treated like a decent girl while she was pregnant and thereafter. I don't know what this man thought he proved, showing text messages of a woman who had just had his child begging for him to be present and to help her while he was out in Mexico laying up with Lala. See, your fans been saying that all these skits with these girls are just skits and it's no big deal. Whole time, no. You really have been laying up with them while you were supposed to be serious about being somebody's man. That's all it's showing us. That everything this woman said, that you have been psychologically abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, to where this girl felt so defeated because of it. She didn't want to be here anymore. Being a brand new mother, having postpartum, yeah, you feel suicidal when the person that you love is treating you like a piece of shit. That's all you did was prove that you are the know-nothing ass fucker that we thought you were. You was never worthy of the Little Mermaid. We said that. And these text messages just prove that while she been out here trying to hide and cover for you, you was a know-nothing ass motherfucker. That's all this shit prove it. That you are like your sorry ass brother, who's another know-nothing ass dude. Halle, you've come from a much better cloth than these people. You should have never mingled with this type of man.
DMV he's insane. Because you mean to tell me that you thought them texts, and what, not only, time out, hold on, there's layers to this shit. Not only is DMV insane, the DMV warriors are insaner. Because, like, a mother who, she's like, when she had Halo, she literally told us straight up that she was struggling with postpartum depression. What he told is that she was struggling with postpartum depression. So then you show the pictures of you literally abandoning the mother of your child and your child while she's struggling with postpartum depression, and she's begging you for help, and you're over there, some bitch in Mexico. And you saw those texts, you're like, yeah, no, this the one. And when I say you niggas are insane,
do the garbage. So you, your brother, and your crew get into a fight at DreamCon. Y'all jumped somebody at DreamCon last week. But Halle's the one who has mental health issues. After the fight at DreamCon, you threaten people on TikTok and Twitter. But Halle's the one who has mental health issues. Mind you, all of this happened because somebody called you do garbage. But Halle's the one who has mental health issues. Okay.
Only an abuser would use your mental health against you to prove you wrong and say that you're a liar when they are the ones who caused the reactive abuse that you are portraying. Yeah, I'm talking about DDG ass, okay? Because why would you put those text messages out there about your baby mama when she was dealing with mental health stuff going on before she even had Halo? Them text messages where you were giving her the silent treatment, that's psychological abuse, bruh. And you was not answering her text messages, but you say you was in the shower? Okay. You wasn't in the shower for no hour, but okay. But every time we see you on stream, you on that damn phone, but you cannot respond to her when she's texting you over and over and over? Okay. And then on top of that, you're getting mad at her for being jealous about you being in Mexico with Lala when you're telling her you want to work on your family and be together. But you're flirting with other women who you know she's insecure about, who you made her insecure about. Okay. And then on top of that, you want to be in her house taking pictures of her bed when she's not there and texting her on Mother's Day, telling her that, you know, she out there with that other man. But it was not okay for her to talk to you about the Lala situation, but it's cool for you to do that to her. This is giving narcissistic. This is giving abuse. This is giving psychological abuse. And I am very disappointed in you, DDG. Very disappointed. Not like you care, but I'm just telling you. You could have made your case with whatever you wanted to say without exposing Halle Bailey's mental struggles. That is not okay. Not okay. You know she would never do anything to hurt Halo. She loved him, even though you begged her to have him when she wasn't ready.
And this the thing is with that. People let shit slide cool. As a parent, the moment you go to the court and say, my child is in imminent danger with the person I have a child with, imminent means you believe your child will be harmed right then and there. Not months from now, not weeks from now, not days from now, but right then and there. So if he truly believed his son was in imminent danger after dealing with the woman he says was suicidal for 3 years, the whole entire time they were together, why is it he is just now saying something today? Well, yesterday. He just now said something on June 4th. But according to him, this suicidal behavior has been going on since March of 2022, the whole year before she even had a child. Now, who the fuck is just gonna let somebody saying, I'm gonna harm myself in front of our child? Won't let that slide. He believed his son was in imminent danger, yet didn't act on it until today. We gotta use our critical thinking. Like, we really gotta use our critical thinking. So let's look at it. She asked him, please take Halo. He says, I genuinely believe you will off me in my sleep. I'm not letting you in my house around pew-pews. Go home, I will pick Halo up. The child is already at your door. You could have took your child and told her to go home and you would bring him home the next day. So he says his child is in imminent danger as of June 4, 2025. Yet that message was from 2024. So your son was in imminent danger and you thought your baby mama would take her life in your sleep, yet you still let your son go with her. But your son's in imminent danger. Imminent, meaning an immediate threat. But all of a sudden, you know, you let that slide, you didn't do nothing, you didn't act on it. Now he's in imminent danger a whole year later. Okay.